My mother used to be called barren. I was locked up in her womb. And she was barren for years until God had his way. The treasures hidden in her began to come out, and I happened to be one of them.
In 1914, the year this story begins, somewhere in the southwestern part of Nigeria, that Dorcas Morenike Aweke was born to the family of the Olumo of Omuaran, Oba Adetundu Abegunde. Little Princess Morenike grew up in a polygamous home and lived with her stepmother while growing up. She helped to sell kola nuts as well as weave traditional Yoruba clothing materials, usually referred to as aweke. Not privileged to have a Western education as was prevalent for young girls and ladies at the time, she remained under this rigorous tutelage of her stepmother until her marriage. Dorcas had a difficult matrimonial experience. No child was forthcoming. As a result, she was put away by her husband, who went on to remarry. It was a painful period for the young woman, who had been condemned as being barren. Gathering up the pieces of her life, she continued with her trade in kola nuts and the aweke. Fortune soon smiled on this diligent lady, and after some years, and now in her 30s, a rather late period for an unmarried woman at the time, Aweke got married again, this time to a Muslim healer, or Alpha, by name Ibrahim Oyedepo. Soon after this marriage, her womb opened, and she gave birth to a son. Acknowledging this victory, the young child was named Emmanuel Olusegun. She moved from Umuaran to Arandun to live with the stepmother-in-law for a brief period before her relocation to be with her husband in Osogbo. The year was now 1954, and 40-year-old Aweke was pregnant a second time. She had now become a fervent member of the Moses Orimolade-founded Eternal Sacred Order of the Cherubim and Seraphim movement, called the C&S, a branch of the White Garment Aladura movement in Nigeria. Dorcas served God very actively in the church. She was especially involved in general cleaning and upkeep of the local church premises. She had a culture of waking up very early to go to church for morning Ipada Adura, or prayer meetings, and in one of such meetings, she went into labor. The result was yet another son. Right there in church, on the 27th of September 1954, Bishop David Oyedepo was birthed. On the 8th day of her successful delivery, the baby boy was named Alhassan Olaniyi by his dad. He was, however, christened David through the efforts of his mother. David Olaniyi Oyedepo much later had a second brother who was named Gideon. His mother, Aweke, had now gotten deeply entrenched in her business, which continued to expand in Osogbo, coupled with the need to remain with and support her husband, who was equally a hardworking businessman. She decided to take her sons to her mother in the village. This was also to enable the growing children attend school at Omuaran.